Are you tired of getting this tangled mess every single time you use your pressure washer? Well, watch this video. There's a really easy way to fix this, and it's all about how you wrap your hose. My name's Steve, and this is the chips and guac method for wrapping your hose, and we're gonna be adults, and there are no double meanings in this video. Let's go. The first step to wrapping your hose properly is we need to straighten this out and get all the twists out. So what you can do is just grab one end and just throw the other end on the ground and run it through your hands, right? This helps, and you want the other side to kind of twist itself out. I recommend wearing gloves. This does get old, and obviously when you slide your hand along the rubber of the hose, it can get a little hot and irritate the skin in a way that's not pleasant. I believe they call them burns. So let's finish this out, get all of the kinks out and all of the twists. Look at this mess. And you want to try not to smack yourself in the face with the end of the hose. Now, this method works for all of your Flexzillas, your Uber Flexes, Quiver Flexes, Uber Quivers, and other versions of whatever this hose is. All right, so we've got as many twists out as we can, and now we're ready to wrap our hose. Some people call this the over-under method. Some people call this the overpaid, underworked method. I think that's a little pessimistic, and it doesn't really describe the motion, so I call it the chips and guac. Grab a chip, and then scoop the guac. We're gonna grab a chip, scoop the guac. First coil, just like what everybody does, we're gonna grab the chip, right? And this is the over. Grab the chip, and you can see it's going over, right? Now, we're gonna scoop the guac. So we're gonna make the number 4, right? And we're gonna have the hose kind of laying across our 4 fingers. So number 4, scoop the guac. There you go. And now, so that's the under. You can see how it kind of goes under the loop. Now it looks like it might be tangled, but I promise you it's not. Because when you finally go ahead and wrap this whole thing up and draw it out, you're gonna see that there's no kinks and every single loop just kind of unfolds naturally, right? So we did an under. Let's grab a chip, scoop the guac. Grab a chip. Sometimes you gotta scoop the guac. Sometimes you have to kind of force the loop a little bit. But when you do, you'll end up with the hose that doesn't come out all kinked. And this is actually better for the life of your hose too. Do you ever have an extension cord where the inside, it kind of looks all twisted up and you can actually see, maybe this camera's not the best, but you can see that this is not a straight cord anymore. It is very twisted. That is from doing the wrong method, right? If you do an over-under method or the chips and guac method, that'll actually help prevent this too. So it'll help your extension cords last longer. It'll help keep your hoses kink-free, and it's very easy to do. Grab a chip, scoop the guac. And honestly, I don't find that this takes really any longer than doing it the other way. The slight extra time it took to wrap this, the offset is how long it takes to untwist a hose. So yeah, so now you can go ahead and take this hose. Maybe you have one of those Velcro straps that you can put around, or you can take it and hang it onto your favorite spot. What most people do when they wrap the hose is they do that first coil, and then they do the second coil the same direction, and then the third coil. And what you don't realize is when you do the coils in the same direction like that, you are adding a twist every single time. So when you go to unravel this, it will be all twisted up, right? You can see it there. Now, chips and guac method, we are twisting it, we are twisting it one direction. When we do the second loop, we're actually untwisting the second loop. So we're twisting it, untwisting it, twisting it, and untwisting it. So let me go ahead and show you what this looks like when you totally unwrap these things. What I'm doing here is I'm tying a really loose knot to a little platform, and I'm going to pull the hose out and show you how they unravel. Now, the reason I'm tying it like this is because I want to make sure that it doesn't swivel, it doesn't turn or twist. it stays in a fixed position. So here's what the setup looks like. You can see I put a little weight on there just to keep the platform from moving away on us. In this example, this is the chip and guac method of coiling. And as I walk away, you'll have to just trust me. I am not uncoiling with my hand or anything. I'm holding it in a fixed position. And you can see the coils are just freely releasing themselves. And as I walk back up the driveway, you can see that the hose stays in a very relaxed position. And I am not fighting with any tangles or kinks or any coils. Now here's what happens if you coil everything in the same direction. Because when you coil everything in the same direction, you're putting a twist on every coil. So when you go to unravel it, this is what happens. The coils, the twists do not freely release. You can see that the hose starts to kink up. And I even gave it a little flick to try and get them out, and they don't come out. And as I walk back up the driveway, it just stays a tangled mess. So get the hose out and just practice this method because I promise it'll save you a lot of frustration in the long run. That's the end of our video. I appreciate you coming in here and watching. I hope it helps you out, and just get out there, get those tangles out, and hopefully this made your life a little bit easier. Thanks. So dumb. You guys have no idea how many times I had to improperly wrap this hose and untangle it.